Hi guys, you're back with another episode of Chat with Chaz, where I give you your daily dose of hot piping tea. This is episode 3, and we're going to be covering a lot of juicy stuff today, okay guys? I do want to let you guys know, I know I was late on a podcast. I was supposed to do one last week. I was really busy. It was a really busy week for me. My schedule was just all over the place. I was working, getting money. You know, responsibilities and bills come first. So I feel so sad I didn't give you guys your content, but I'm here doing it for you, and we're gonna get into some things today, okay? Okay, so today we're gonna cover a couple different topics, okay? I had a lot of requests for different things, and I kind of wanted to cover it all in one episode and give you guys what you're asking for, okay? So one topic I really want to base the entire episode on is age gaps. How young women, you know, like in their early 20s are dating men that are 10, 15 years plus older than them, etc. And then vice versa. We're talking about age gaps in relationships, how it can be bad or good, pros and cons, you know, and just kind of the outcome of it. And I'm going to give you guys my opinion. I'm going to, mention your opinions because I did do a Q&A of questions you guys wanted me to answer on the show about that specific topic. And then I also did asking you guys what's your opinions and thoughts about that topic, and I got so much, like more than that I expected. So I kind of want to bring that out there and incorporate it in the show. So another topic I am going to speak on later about in the video is how women in this generation are getting pregnant by men they've known less than a couple months, a year, you know, and then it creates really toxic environments. So we're going to be covering all that today. I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are ready. Stay tuned because we're going to be getting into it. So, okay, what do you guys think about age gaps? Like, you see it often. It's been happening for years, even before our time. You know, you see younger people dating older people or older people dating younger people. And I feel like now in 2021 it's definitely became normalized. Even though back in the day, like back in the day it was normalized, then it got looked down upon over time, and then it's back to being normalized. So how do you guys feel about it? Like, at least for me, like, it depends. I mean, love is love. People know who they want to be with. But there are certain relationships where I'll see that are like make me uncomfortable because I'm just like, how is this a thing? How do they even have anything in common? You know, there's such a huge age gap. So I'm gonna answer a few of the questions that you guys asked me on the Q&A, and then we'll get into your responses and your opinions on age differences in relationships. Okay. So the first question was, do you feel that the attraction to older men could stem from a cultural setting? So to answer that question, I guess when it comes to your ethnicity, your background, and different cultures, it's normal to be with an older man. It's, you know, expected and a part of your family background. So sometimes you're kind of forced into it. Especially like, I don't want to speak too much on it because I'm not of that background, but, you know, a Middle Eastern background, like those women, you know, they'll be, well, not even women, girls, they'll be like 11, 12 years old, and they'll be married to be married off to 50-year-old men. And it was normal, and families were okay with it. And I think it had a sense to do with, you know, the richer family to like wealth. I guess they would marry the girls off to like, you know, grant the entire family wealth for good. Because think about it. If I have a daughter and this man is offering all this millions of dollars to marry my daughter, if he marries her, my entire family and so on, and grandchildren and their grandchildren will be wealthy. So I think it has a sense to do with that. It could be, you know, just, you know, like I feel like even though that was normal in certain backgrounds, I feel like it's a different day and age. It's 2021. I don't think that's normal for 11, 12-year-olds to be with 50-year-old men. I feel like that's like a disgusting way to just send your daughters off. But like I said, it is normal. It is, a part of someone's background in certain countries and stuff like that. Hopefully one day we can see a difference in it, because I don't think that's humane at all. Women, at the end of the day, we're not prizes. We're not trophies. We're not toys. You just can't use us just to, for wealth and for people's pleasure, or satisfaction. Because most of those time, the 50-year-old men, they don't have good intentions for those girls. They just want to control them and own them. So hopefully we can see a difference in that over time, but it definitely still happens in a lot of countries. And I'm sure that with people that have those certain backgrounds and ethnicities, if you see your parents and your parents' parents and cousins and aunts and uncles, and that's something that's common in your family, you can be used to that because that's all you know and all you see. And then you'll be attracted to older men because of all you know because of your family. So that can have a part to do with it. What is the difference between grooming and dating someone extremely young? See, grooming is a touchy subject because I personally know a lot of people who were in these situations, female and male, and it's a manipulating situation, and it's definitely a situation where one person is being taken advantage of without even realizing it, and they think it's love, they think it's compassion, I feel like grooming is more like you're basically raising the younger person into thinking that this huge age gap or relationship is normal. So let's use an example. This is an example. This isn't anybody specifically. Let's use a 40-year-old man and a 20-year-old girl. Okay? So in some cases, people might think, okay, well, if I'm 20 and I'm grown and I'm mature, why not be with somebody that's way older than me? That could be my father. Because 40 years old and you're 20, he could basically be a daddy. I feel like, in a sense, that can be grooming, because what would a 40-year-old man want with a 20-year-old girl? Yeah, it's a young piece of ass. But in all reality, you're just grooming her into thinking, okay, this is normal. Even though I probably have daughters your age, this is okay. Like, we can have sex, we can be together, we can go out in public, let's have kids, let's get married, even though I'm like half your fucking age. So, grooming is more like manipulating them and kind of brainwashing them into thinking that everything they're doing is normal and it's okay and acceptable. Even though, like I said, you don't have to judge anybody. People love who they want to love. Sometimes but there's also a thing of grooming and manipulating people into thinking that this is a normal relationship when in all overall it's not. Especially if you've seen like that 20-year-old girl, if that 40-year-old man seen that 20-year-old girl as a toddler or as a child and watched her grow up, it was kind of like you were waiting and kind of like, preying on the girl, and then once she's of age, you get to that point where like, you already have a relationship with them, so they trust you and they trust you enough to believe everything you're saying. So all you have to do is tell them, do this, do that, and they think it's normal, they think it's okay. So that's what grooming kind of falls under. And then dating someone extremely young, I mean, the difference of both, I mean, grooming is more of like I said, is more manipulating and brainwashing, and then just dating someone extremely young is just more like you have an attraction for younger people. No, I don't think if you're 40 years old, you date someone that's 20 years old, you're off the back of pedophile or rapist. But I do think there's a sense of immaturity there in the 40-year-old. Like, what do you want with this child? Because like I said, in all reality, that could be your daughter. So, I mean, there's a difference between both. It's hard to like pinpoint red flags between the two, like whether this person really wants to be with them or this person's just grooming them to just be kind of their property. Okay, next question. Why do you think that older men date younger girls? Vice versa. Why do you think older women date younger guys? That was like I said in the other question. I think it has to do with a sense of immaturity in the person that's older. Maybe it's like them wanting to be young, going through like a midlife crisis. Maybe just they're not finding anything in common with people their age. Or, you know, because in my opinion, I just don't see what, like, okay, let's use vice versa. What a 40-year-old woman would want in a 20-year-old boy. Because especially, I'm gonna be honest, guys, females, okay? Men don't mature until like maybe their 30s, if that. Men are still immature at the age of 20, 21, and you're still having to teach them things. They're still learning things. They're learning how to be a man, you know, head of household. And so it's like, I could just imagine a 40-year-old woman who's probably seen, done, and know way more things than your average fucking woman does. This boy is probably just like a toy to her. So it's just like, in that sense, like I said, that's like a grooming thing. I don't think it's normal. That could be her fucking son. I mean, but like, it's weird because like, it's okay and it's normal for older women to date younger guys. Like, people get a kick out of that. Like, they'll like give props or like give their credit to a younger man that has an older girlfriend, like a pat on the back. But if you see an older man dating a younger girl, it's like he's a pedophile off the bat. Women can be pedophile too. Women can prey on younger boys. And that like goes back to what I was saying. It's a sense of immaturity that the adult has and something they're lacking in people their age. So they try to seek for it in younger people, in a younger crowd. And I also think it's because too, with older men and older women, when you date someone younger, you can control them. You can brainwash them. You can manipulate them. You could kind of mold them into thinking a certain way easier because they're younger than someone their age who's going to be like, fuck that, you know? Okay, next question. What's the biggest age gap that you think is appropriate? I'm not nobody to judge. I'm not nobody to tell anybody to like what ages you should date, what age you shouldn't date. I personally do think if a 10-year difference is a big ass fucking difference. Especially, okay, if you're 30 and he's 40, that's normal. But when you're 20 and he's 30, that I think is a big difference, because me, when I was 20, 19 years old, I didn't know anything. I was still a child. Shit, I'm 24 now and I still don't know shit. Still learning. So I could just imagine this 30-year-old man coming into my life, probably way wiser, knows way more than I do. I'm going to feel, like I don't know much. I can't keep up. So I think a 10-year difference is kind of weird. By all means, if that's how if you think you can be with someone that's 10 years older than you and you're comfortable and you guys have a lot in common, by all means. But I just personally think on the adults aspect, not necessarily the younger person, because the younger person, we automatically think if we can get somebody that's older than us, it's it's like good, like it's like something to be proud of. Like, let me just, as an example, I'm gonna act like a girl who's dating an older man. Oh, I'm mature. I'm more mature than people my age, so that's why he likes me. No, sis, there's something wrong. Why is he seeking for someone that's 10 years younger than him? There's something wrong there. But women will not see that. They'll just think, okay, well, he likes me because I'm grown, I'm mature enough. I'm not like people my age. In reality, that's not what it is. You could be any other young bitch. You could be really immature and they'll probably still date you. So, that's kind of how I see it. I think 10 years is up off the back. Weird, not normal. You see it all the time. By all means, whatever. It's just, yeah, it's a little weird to me. But I guess, some people are happy in relationships like that. Some people have kids with people that are 10-year difference. It's okay. I'm not going to say that this person's a pedophile. But like I said, I don't see the logic in it in dating someone that much younger than you. Like, if in all reality, like when that 40-year-old person or that person that, like, let's say it's 40. No, let's say it's 30 and the girl's 20. When you were 20 years old, she was 10. So it's just like, it doesn't make sense. It's just a little weird. It's just a little weird there. So, okay, so I answered some of the questions you guys had. I didn't have a lot of questions this time, but when I put on my Instagram and my Facebook, okay, everybody send me your DMs and your responses of what do you think about age gaps in relationships. I got flooded. My DMs got flooded. And I want to speak on that. I want to give everyone else an opinions. It's all anonymous. I'm not saying anyone's names. But like I said, I want to incorporate people's opinions, you know, my viewers and my audience's opinions, because that's what's going to make the show. I want to see what you guys think, you know, and be more open-minded and see, you know, what everyone else's perspective of it is, you know. But I just want to mention this before we do this. Like, I don't want to offend anybody, you know. There's a lot of people who are in relationships like this, and it's normal. It's okay. Just know that there are people that think certain ways of your relationship, and there's people that support your relationship. Do it by all means. Do what you want. Whatever people think, if people think they're too old for you, they're too young for you, do what you want. But just know, people do have that, you know, those thoughts in the back of their mind. Don't ever think that people act like they're supporting you, but let me tell you, in all reality, they is in the back of their mind like, oh my God, like, he's too old for her or she's too young for him. People are thinking like that. Don't think they support you. People will always think like that off the bat. All right, so let me see. Sorry. Got my little drink here. Let me see. So these are some of your opinions that everyone submitted in. So I asked basically, what do you guys think about relationships with huge age gaps? One person responded, never works long term. I agree. I usually think it's a fling, or it's like a sexual or attraction intention when it comes to relationships like that. Like, what does a grown ass 30, 40-year-old man want with his little ass girl but a nice piece of young ass? He don't want no kids with you. He don't want no, usually half the time they have kids already, or an ex-wife or a baby mama. So it's just like, sis, you're just for play. And then vice versa with a boy. I feel like that's for a woman to make herself feel younger. They do that. Let me see. Someone else said, sorry, y'all, I'm trying to look on my laptop. Someone said, to get what you can out of them, finesse on some city girls shit, sugar daddy type shit. I definitely think that's a lot of the reasons why women date older men too. I see a lot on my Instagram about girls my age or younger with these grown ass men that are, you know, fortunate enough to be, I wouldn't say wealthy, but they got money, you know. He got some change. So, you know, in a sense, we'd be like, oh, go ahead, girl, do your thing. But it's like, it's a little weird, you know, because we're sitting here. We got all these celebrities in jail doing prison time for shit you guys do anyways. Like, R. Kelly's doing real time for doing things with younger girls that was mutual and consensual. Okay, I don't. Let me say my opinion on that. Off the back, those parents should have never dropped them kids off there, and you could have also ran to the police if this man was raping you. This was a consensual thing. No, he was not fucking right. He was still wrong and weird in many ways. But it's like, why else would you be trying to be around with this older man that is wealthy? Because you're trying to get something out of him. So his intentions are bad. Your intentions are bad. That's why that relationship ends up toxic and just overall bad. So I feel like, yeah, that's a lot of the reasons why females do be older men. They see he got a little bit of money, you know, sugar daddy type shit like she said, and they just be trying to cling on to what they got. And then when shit goes left and that man is low-key psycho or controlling or possessive, then they want to plead the fifth and, you know, play victim. So yeah, I could agree with that. Another response was people that date people with huge age gaps is usually them looking for stability, maturity, and you typically can't find that in closer age range. That's very much true. You know, a lot of people that's sometimes in the same age as you is still struggling, still trying to get on their feet, still trying to be an adult, still trying to, you know, learn responsibilities and have responsibilities. And sometimes women, I'll speak from a woman's perspective, when you have your shit together, you don't want to deal with someone that doesn't have their shit together. You don't want to have to baby them or do everything for them or have to, like, you know, be that stepping stone for them all the time. You want someone that just already has it and just has their shit together. They don't have to depend on you. So I can see that. That's also another reason why I see women date older guys, because it's like, who the fuck wants a little ass boy that you got to take care of all the time? Why not be with a man that got all his shit together then when y'all can, you know, do stuff for each other, you know? So I can see it from that perspective. For a guy as well, if you can find a woman that's going to spoil you, why do it for you? Be with a girl that you're going to make you spend all your money on them when you could just be with an older woman. So I used to work with this guy. I won't say his name at my old job. And he told me straight up, he loves cougars. He only dates cougars. And he's my age. He's 24. He looks a little older. He's a tall, you know, buff kind of dude. So he can pass by for somebody older. And I asked him, like, why? Like, what the hell? What's wrong with girls our age? He's just like, girls our age, you have to pay for everything for them. At least with a cougar, she has all her own shit and you don't have to pay for shit. And when he said that, it made a good point, because it's like, girls our age, especially when we date guys our age, we expect them, like, pay for dinner, buy me clothes, give me money, give me this, give me that. Unlike a woman that's older, a cougar already has all her shit together and she probably just wants your company and your time. So it's like, he has a good point. And damn, for my ladies in my generation, y'all fucking it up for us. Like, these men don't even want nothing to do with us because y'all just becoming money hungry and dependent on their asses. They started to think we independent. They started to think we too dependent on their asses. Like, the fuck? How is cougars winning over us? Because y'all want to be money hungry. Cut it out. Get your own shit. Damn. Anyways, so someone else said, in this generation, in this generation, huge age gaps and, you know, men dating younger girls, vice versa, is normalized just because people do what they want. And it's true. You can do what you want. Just, you can't expect people to always accept it either. But that's up to you if you really care what people think in that sense. What's another one? Let me see. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to pull this up on my laptop. I dated someone for 9 years. I dated someone 9 years older than me, and I loved it. But men, no matter what age, are immature. Okay, so see, that's kind of my point. So it's like, you can date this is what I was saying about the 10-year age gap. I feel like if a man that's 9 or 10 years older than you can date someone that young as you, there's a level of immaturity. This literally, like, basically is like proof that to, like, what I was saying. Like, usually men that date younger girls are immature, because a grown-ass, mature-ass man is not gonna want nothing to do with no little-ass girl. I would be turned off by a grown-ass man that wants something to do with me. What is wrong with you? I could be your fucking child. So you mean that's kind of my opinion on it. It's true, no matter what age, guys are immature. But at 30 years old, if you're immature and dating someone way younger than you, you're literally still 21 years old at heart. That man is not 30. He's 21 years old at heart. So, I mean, that's why it's like, when you date an older man, it's like, there's something wrong there. There's a screw that's not tightened. Because what do you want with this little girl? Like, what do I have? What do I have that women your age don't have? And it's like, if you think about it, a woman that is that man's age is not going to deal with him because he's immature. So, That's something to think about. Someone has said 5-year difference is okay for people under 35. After that, maturity levels even out. I believe so too. You know, once you get to a certain age in your 30s, it's like you can date someone 40 to 50 years older than you because you're actually an adult. Anyone that tells you in your 20s you're an adult, you're not. You're still a young adult, still learning this life, still figuring out this life, figuring out yourself, and you know how to be an adult. So that's why when older people date people in their 20s, it's like, this is a kid. I was just in high school like less than 10 years ago. So it's just like, yeah, I think 5-year difference is okay for people under 35. But once you hit over that 30-year mark, it's like, be with someone 10, 20 years older than you. You guys are both adults, consenting adults, you know. I feel like a 20-year-old doesn't really know what they want. In your 20s, you really don't know what you want. Especially if it's somebody that's way older than you, you don't really know what you're signing up for. Someone else said it's normalized because if the gender roles were switched, people would be labeled. It's true. So I feel like it's okay for women, older women, to date younger guys, but as soon as an older guy dates a younger girl, he's off the back labeled a pedophile or a rapist or whatever you want to say. And it's like, if you're going to say one is wrong, then both should be wrong, you know? Because like I said, it comes with the level of immaturity. Something's not tied on too tight if you're seeking for someone that could be your child's age, you know? Someone said, I feel like it depends. It's both normal and abnormal. Because the question I asked was, do you guys think age gap differences are normal or abnormal? And, you know, someone said it's both normal and abnormal. So like I was saying, like it could be both. I mean, it just depends the situation. It's weird, but then, I mean, if people are happy, you can't really judge it. And it happens every day, all day, everywhere around you. Everywhere. Let me tell y'all, this is blueberry lemonade rum with strawberry, peaches, blueberries, some whipped cream on the top. If you ever need a homemade drink, come to the House of Chaz, because I got you. Let's get back to it. So, someone else said, I feel like it depends on how mature the female is and also the age gap, how far apart it is. Yes, it does depend. Like I said, usually women, you know, they're mature enough to deal with someone older than them. And like this person said, it depends on how far the age gap. I mean, 10 years is starting to become normal now. But I've seen people 20 years older than them. Literally, their grandfather's age. Weird. It's fucking weird. I'm sorry. It's weird. I don't. What do you want with this little ass girl? Like when I was in high school, you were fucking probably married and with kids already. Like what? It's just odd to me. Then someone said these niggas all the same. LMAO, older or not, or not. I mean, in that case, true, men are a piece of fucking work. So I mean, old, young, middle-aged, you gonna get yourself some bullshit anyways. So just be wise on what bullshit you want to deal with and what age of bullshit you want to deal with. Someone said, I feel like it's normal in certain cases. Yeah, I mean, like I said, depending on how the situation is. I mean, if this person was friends with this person and built a relationship with them, why not? I don't think it's normal when older men who, like say, a family friend watched a certain girl grow up and she gets to a certain age and then they start dating. That's sick to me. You watched her in diapers and now you're like trying to be with her. That means you were always watching her in that sense. So that like it's there's pedophilic vibes to it too, like off the bat. So one person said just normal. One word, normal. I guess. I mean, like I said, it depends. Like, if you're 20 years old and you're dating someone that's 30, that's not normal to me. That's fucking weird. You're a fucking little girl. I'm telling y'all. Okay, let me say this. I was 19 years old when I moved to Florida. I had no family. Yeah, I had a boyfriend and stuff, and overall, I was alone. I had to learn things the hard way because I didn't have anybody telling me what to do or guiding me, and I grew up really fast. So, but I can just remember me thinking of myself when I was 19, 20 years old. I was so naive. I was so oblivious to a lot of things. And so I'm just thinking, like, how the fuck can this 30-year-old man be with this 20-year-old girl when she probably don't even know how to do her fucking taxes by herself? Probably doesn't even know how to do fucking credit and how it works. Probably knows nothing about mortgages and income and how that works. So it's just like, that's what I mean. Like, how can you fix yourself to be with a grown-ass man and you probably don't even know how to do your own taxes? So that's kind of my thing, you know? Like, if you gonna date a grown-ass man, be grown. Because just because you're a little mature does not mean you're grown. Grown means responsibilities of a grown woman. Grown means knowing grown shit, being wise, going through grown obstacles and challenges and overcoming them and be able to tell other people about them. That's grown. Grown is not having big titties and ass and looking like a woman. Grown is not working a job and paying your bills. Grown is actually investing, trying to set yourself up for career, trying to, set yourself up for success and build a future. That's grown. And if you can find a 20-year-old that's on that, by all means, because I'm pretty sure there's some grown 20-year-olds, but there's always that one or two couple things that they just don't know because you're 20, okay? You're fucking a kid. So, I mean, some people think it's normal. I don't think it's normal. People do it anyways, no matter what I say. So, I mean, it's all on you, you know? All right, so let's continue. I can understand a max age difference of 4 to 5 years, but 10 plus is a bit extreme. I agree, like I just dating someone young, there's just gonna be things that are missing there that both the younger person and both the older person can't fill. Because like you said, there's an age difference, so that older person, there's things they're going to be a little outdated on because of your generation. Just like the younger person is going to be a little naive to certain things because they're young. And that sometimes can clash and create conflict. It's normal. My boyfriend is 20 years older than me and I couldn't be happier. Can't see an age difference. See, off the bat, this person that said this, they look happy as life. They look like they're content, they're healthy, and this is what they want. I can't judge it. If somebody's happy and that's what they want, who they want to be with, by all means. I still stand on my opinion on it a little bit, but like I said, I just still think there's things that lack in the relationship that you may not notice now or probably not anytime soon, but you will eventually. Because at the end of the day, if this person's 20 years older than you, when they were 20 years old, you were just coming into you were like a toddler, so it's just like they could be outdated on things, when it comes to being hip, this generation, just like you being 20 years younger than him, there's things that you probably don't know about life that you're not probably going to know until further on into your life, that you're not going to learn. So, I mean, like I said, if you're happy, if you're in love, do what makes you happy. Be with somebody that's 55, 60 years older than you. I still stand on my opinion. I still think there's a little, I don't want to keep calling it weird because I don't want to offend anybody, but I do think it's a little abnormal because, yes, men our age are ignorant, but I think that's the whole point of being in a relationship when you're in your 20s is growing with that person and going through obstacles with that person and learning life with that person. You can't necessarily learn life with someone that's 20 years older than you if they've already lived half of it. Now you're learning and they're watching you, so it's kind of like a big daddy, little girl, big daddy, baby girl type of thing. So they can teach you things, but that's not the type of relationship I want. In my case, I want a relationship where I'm learning with that person, not necessarily somebody teaching me. Yes, me and my significant other right now, we teach each other different things just from our own experiences. But I don't want necessarily having somebody so much older than me where I'm having to compete with the amount of things they know and how wise they are. Now I have to make sure I'm mature enough and I'm not too naive or too ignorant to be with that person. Another person was normal. So I see a lot of normal. So like I said, I can't fight it. That's what you guys believe, and I appreciate the opinions, the feedback, because at the end of the day, people have their own situations and experiences and who they love and who they want to love. Someone said, I think a few years difference is perfectly normal, but this 40-year-old man with 18-year-old girls, ain't it? Yeah, that's fucking weird, y'all. That's fucking weird. Like, I'm gonna say that's weird. Like, what does a 40-year-old man want with an 18-year-old girl? Like, fresh out of high school. Like, at 18, I literally didn't know shit. I was working a little fucking part-time job. I was just learning how to fucking drive. Like, no, it's not like that in everybody's fucking case, because a lot of people do grow up fast due to their circumstances. But it's like, what does this 40-year-old man want with an 18-year-old girl? What? Like, I just don't get it. I don't have enough funds to buy. It's not money, because at 18 you usually don't have money. Not a lot. Two, it's not life skills, because you don't know shit at 18. It's not love, because I feel like at 18 we don't know what love is. Like, we're all in our let me say something, y'all. If you're still in your 20s, you are still learning to love. You are still learning how to be loved. You're still learning on what love really is, because love can be all types of things. It can mean different things to different people too. So it's like, for someone to be in love with a 4-year-old man and be 18, like, sis, sit down. It ain't it. Like she said, that it ain't it. You do not love this man. He does not love you. You are a nice young piece of ass that makes him feel like he that nigga. That's really what it is. When men date younger women, they are looked as predators. It's true. It's not, I don't think they should be looked as predators, because it's not always that case. But it does have a sense of like predator kind of vibe, because it's like, what do you want with me? Like, usually at 18, you're not fully developed. I don't want to say this. I've met some fully developed 18-year-old bitches. Y'all be having them jugs. Y'all be having them cakes. Y'all be looking like some grown-ass woman. You wouldn't even know you're 18. I've met some 18-year-olds that look older than my own mother. Okay? So, yeah, you may feel like it's cute then because you get to date older guys. But when you're really 30 or 40 years old and all that shit kicks in and you look older than older, then it's going to be like, okay, let me now start dating younger guys. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't always think that guys or females that date younger people are predators, but it does have a sense of it. I feel like there's something in the back of their minds, even though they don't think of it as that way. It has some type of vibe to it, because it's like, you're a child. You're a child compared to this person. It's crazy that we're speaking about predators, y'all, because that's one thing I read a lot about, stuff like that. I have a whole book on it. Okay, let me show y'all. It's a predators book. This book, I cried. Let me tell you, I cried reading this. I had to finish it periodically. I did little by little because it was a little too intense for me. Very triggering. Just a lot of things. And it talks about a lot of different stories of sex offenders and stuff like that. If you guys ever get the chance, go get it, read it. It'll open your mind out. It'll open your mind up more to how predators think. Because like I was saying, like, just because they don't intentionally feel like a predator, they can have those, those type of fucking thoughts. Because it's like, why are you this age wanting to be with someone this fucking young? What is wrong with women your age? Because I feel like when older men date younger girls, it's because they can't keep up with a grown-ass woman. And that's what it is. It's a level of maturity in that grown man. I feel like when women date older men, it's seen as daddy issues. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, right on the fucking ball. That is so fucking true. And anyone that fights me on it, I will fight you on it for fucking ever, to the moon and fucking back, because it's true. Women who date older men have daddy issues, and there's no way around it. Even if your father is in your life, something that was kind of went left or went wrong with your relationship with your father, there's a reason why you date older men. You're seeking, like I said, when you have an older man, you like that sense of, he knows more than I do. He can take care of me. He can teach me. And that kind of goes back to grooming. So you can say whatever you want to say about it, but females that date older men have daddy issues and are trying to replace that, that void they had from whatever relationship they had with their father, or if their father wasn't in their life, with someone who can be similar to that. And I feel like older men who know women that go through that, have that issues, take advantage of that and know that women, those type of women are going to, latch onto them easily because they have daddy issues. And that's when the brainwashing and the manipulating comes into place. Someone said, it could be abnormal and normal some way possible. Hella torn from the two. So this person is basically saying like she agrees with being normal, and she agrees with being abnormal. That's kind of how I'm in with it, because like I said, you see it so often, and there are people there are people that are in relationships and happy and have glowed and flourished in those relationships with people and with age gaps. And then there's people that been in toxic relationships. So I'm going to speak on someone I knew. Not going to say names just because everybody has been watching my podcast. I don't want to put anyone out there. But this is a real life situation where a friend of mine was 15 years old, okay? And the person she was dating was 22 or 23. When she started dating him, off the back, I was just like, I wasn't supportive of it. I thought it was weird. I thought there was something fucking off. Because why is this 23-year-old man dating a 15-year-old girl? Not 18, not 19, not 20, 15, okay? Sorry, y'all, I'm getting a little off. But 15 is a fucking child. Sorry to tell y'all. 15, you know nothing. If I told you you didn't know shit at 20 years old, you sure as hell don't know shit at 15. Because I didn't know shit, no one around me knew shit, and y'all didn't know shit. Okay? And what I mean by knowing shit is like, at 15, first of all, why the fuck is you having sex at 15? Why the fuck is you having sex at 15 years old? This is like, we need to start as women closing our motherfucking legs and waiting. Because off the back, anyone you have sex when you're 15 or even in your teen years, you're not going to end up with. So you're literally wasting your time, wasting your body on a fucking little dumb boy for no reason when you could have saved it for something that you actually met and in love and, cherished. So off the back, like, why the fuck is you having sex at 15? That's a different topic. It happens, whatever. But when you're 15 and in a relationship with someone that's 23, there is something wrong there. Okay? So my friend, she didn't like that I was unsupported. She didn't like that she thought I was just talking shit and jealous and just hating on her. And she thought, and I tried to tell her like, hey, like, you're 15. He's 23. There's something wrong with him. She's like, no, I'm mature for my age. Mind you, this person, okay, couldn't even wipe her own motherfucking ass if she had to do it. Okay? When everyone has those friends where they were always, that was dependent on them, that was on their latch onto their hip. This was that friend to me. I was always doing for that person, always teaching that person something. So I could just imagine how she felt, how she was in that relationship. So no, sis, you are not mature. If I was having to do things for you and show you things that I knew already, mind you, I was older than her. I was 18 at the time. She was 15. Off the back, just weird. And, our relationship, our friendship kind of started to deteriorate as she started to make that person her priority all the time. And it started, as months went in, I started to realize she started to change. A lot of depressed, you know, you can see a lot of depressed red flags on her, stressed out. And then I started to realize he was starting to be possessive and controlling and abusive. And they were both starting to be abusive towards each other. So the fact that he's 23, you're 15, and now y'all putting your hands on each other, wrong. That just shows you that 23-year-old, I wouldn't even call him a man, boy, it still thinks he's 16 at heart. You know? So it's like, that's what I was saying before. Like, when men date younger women, it's because women their age aren't gonna deal with someone that's their age that acts like a fucking 16-year-old. That boy knew he couldn't get somebody that was his fucking age, so he decided to prey on someone younger than him that would automatically latch on to him because he was older. And that's considered, you know, attractive, that an older man wants you. And the relationship started to get toxic so fucking bad, like, just so fucking bad. Like, black eyes, almost running each other over with cars. It was, you know, it was intense to the point where I had to wash my hands with the friendship and being around, because I was involving myself too much because I was worried and actually cared for this girl, and I didn't want anything to actually happen to her, to the point where she came at me, lashed and attacked me for being involved. And I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to stay away. This is your problem. Good the fuck luck. Because I've seen a lot on not just social media, just in general, of these types of relationships where the man will actually, abusive relationships that will actually kill the bitch. Actually fucking choke her ass out, shoot her, anything. Okay? So it's just like, those relationships, especially when he's older, it's dangerous. It's scary. This man could be fucking literally kill you right now, and we'll never see you again just because you thought it was cute to be with an older man. And there was points where she like, I'm getting a little too in detail about this. I don't want anyone to you know who the fuck I'm talking about, but where he was putting a gun to her face and everything. So that's when shit was going left. And I like I said, I had to clean my hands with it, because it was like, I'm not gonna keep getting myself stressed out because this girl, my friend, kept going back to this person, just kept going back, just, you know. And that's when it starts to get tricky, because once you're attached to them and they mind fuck you and make you believe that the only person that's gonna love you is them, you feel like, okay, I have to stay with them. I can't go with no one else. No one else is gonna want me. No one else is gonna do for me what this person does for me. And then you're stuck. And then they fucking brainwash you and basically act like they own you. So I want to just go back, just kind of leave that where I was saying, leave that there. That's just an example of like why those relationships, I've always been so against them, because I've seen it and I've seen the ugly side of it. And 15 and 23 is really fucking, that's a big ass gap. 15 years old, you're a child. I don't care how mature you had to fucking grow up. I don't care. You're a fucking child at 15. Point blank, period. I don't care if you can make rice and beans for a whole family. You're a fucking child at 15. Off the bat. Sorry, y'all. I had to fucking sip to this. Let's carry the fuck on, y'all. Okay, so I covered all the DMs and messages and responses I had got from everybody, and I loved it. I loved everything that you guys had to say, all your perspectives, you know, your opinions and how you got, and outlooks on you know, age gap differences. It made me learn a lot and open my eyes up more too. Just to kind of just briefly go over everything we spoke about. Just, you know, when it comes to age gap differences, you can't, just kind of be prepared if you do date someone older than you or younger than you, that you're always going to get those side eyes. Because whether, like, a person like me, at the end of the day, whether I feel the way I feel towards it, I'm not going to, you know, get mad and talk shit and be like, oh my God, ew. That's who you want to be with. That's who you want to be with. But I will still have those thoughts in my mind, you know? So you're always going to have those other people that are going to be blunt or outspoken to your relationship. And you just kind of got to brush it off without feeling offended, because no, it's not normal in everybody's world. It's not, because like, even though back in the day it probably was normal, but it's 2021. There's so many people out there in the world, like, you can't find nobody your age. I don't know. I guess it's just something that, I guess it's a preference thing. I definitely don't think I don't care what anyone says. I don't think if you date someone older is because you're mature. No. You're probably as mature as I am. That motherfucker just wants your little piece of young ass, and that's just what it is. But I guess we all see it a different way. Same thing vice versa with older women. It's not because the guy is grown. It's because she got somebody she probably can control and she wants to feel young. That's just kind of how I see it. So now I want to cover, okay, this is another topic that was asked, was about how these girls in this generation are getting pregnant with people they've only known for like a couple months or like less than a year. And I've always wanted to talk about this on my show because this is something that happens very often. It's so common. And it's the reason why a lot of these kids are growing up in broken homes and a lot of these girls are having babies by themselves. Just the reality of it. No, I don't have kids, so I don't want to offend anybody that I'm speaking on this, but I am the oldest of 7. I've seen my mother struggle. I've seen a single mother raise all of us. So I still can, give some insight on it too. So like, when it comes to that topic, I just, a baby is like a sacred thing. A baby is a blessing. A baby is a life, okay? And I feel like this generation has taken advantage of having babies just to have them. Literally just having them just to have them. Just to post pictures of them. Just to show them off. Just to say that they're a mom. And that bothers me because a lot of those kids that are brought into this world for those reasons end up not having all the love, unconditional love, and, like, presence they need from their parents really there completely, just because the baby was brought on all the wrong reasons. At the end of the day, you get pregnant, nothing you can do. I don't support abortions. Like what I said, I don't want to say I don't want to support abortions. If you want to have an abortion, by all means, I'm pro whatever a woman wants to do with her body. But I also understand why you wouldn't have one. The baby's here, the baby's here. So in that sense, it's like, okay, women are not like being careful on who have the babies with. They're just meeting these guys, going through the honeymoon phase. And anyone that has been in a long-term relationship knows a honeymoon phase lasts only a couple months. And in that phase, you probably think it's like, oh my God, I want to marry this person. I want to have his kids. I want to travel the world with him. That honeymoon phase be getting you. Let me tell you, you be feeling like this person gonna marry you. Gonna marry this person for the rest of your life, okay? Until shit go left. So in that honeymoon phase, a lot of these naive and gullible females be so in the moment, they let their guard down and think it's okay to have unprotected sex. Ooh. Think it's okay, that's okay to have unprotected sex. Let their partner, ejaculate in them. I use the right word. I don't want to sound like vulgar, so I'll just say ejaculate in them. And they're okay with it. They just kind of, let's just see what happens kind of mood. And it's like at the end of the day, it's not a game. Like if you see what happens, it's gonna be a goddamn baby, and you have to now provide for that baby for the rest of your life. When you have a kid, it ain't about you anymore. It's not about you anymore. It's not about him. It's not about you. It's not about your family. It's not about your job. It's about that baby. Everything you do solely is about that baby. And I feel like women are starting to not think like that. Like, I feel like women are just having the babies to keep relationships, having the babies to keep a man around, having the babies to not be alone. I'm one of those people that I've noticed that women are having babies because they were always missing that unconditional love. So, a baby's gonna always love you. So it's like, I feel like they have that baby so they can always have somebody that always wants them and needs them. There's people that literally live and crave off of someone needing them. And when someone doesn't need them, they feel like they have no purpose. They feel unvaluable. So it's like a baby, you always have a purpose. I'm gonna do it for my son. I'm gonna do it for my daughter. And it's like, it's crazy that that's a meme. Because I see that meme all over Facebook and Instagram all the time, but it's a thing. Like, people are having kids just to have a purpose. And it's like, bro, if you didn't have a purpose before that baby, I feel bad for that baby when that baby comes, because you had that baby for all the wrong reasons. Okay? So back to the topic, I see a lot of women dating these men for less than a year and getting pregnant. I don't understand that. Like, why can't you guys just enjoy the relationship first? Because a baby tears relationships apart. Anyone who has kids and have been in long-term relationships can tell you this. It tears relationships apart. It weighs down relationships. The connection's not the same anymore because all you guys are worrying about is just providing for this baby. So you guys miss out on the connection, the intimacy, the love, the bond, because all you're doing is just trying to figure out, okay, it's about this baby, it's about this baby. So it's like all the factors that a relationship's supposed to have are getting pushed under the rug or pushed to the side because now there's another priority. And then especially if the relationship's still new, the problem with that is pushing those things to the side, like a bond, a connection, and stuff like that. That creates a toxic environment because now all the love part is tossed to the side. Now you guys are feeling like you have to be with each other. You're forced to be with each other, and it becomes more of a job instead of something you want to do. That's when arguments start to come in, infidelity, unhappiness, depression, stress, and there you go, broken home off the bat. So it's like, I feel like women should start getting to know these men. You need to be in a relationship. First of all, you need to date for a couple months, then tie the knot, make it official for like a year. I feel like a good 2 years is a good amount of time to be with someone before you have a baby. Anything less than a year, it ain't gonna last. Not always, but if it does last, it's not gonna be a smooth ride. And no relationship is a smooth ride, let me tell you. But it's definitely gonna be harder, and you're gonna deal with a lot of more heartache, stress, and tears because you rushed the relationship, and now you're rushing a family onto someone you haven't known that long. So it's like, I don't know, like it's a fucked up situation. Like, I just want to know why you girls keep doing that shit. Like, why? Like, why can't you guys just be in the relationship for a little bit? Be in the moment. Enjoy it. Enjoy being with someone. And especially what gets me is when women have babies with people they've already have problems with. When women have babies with men who have already shown them red flags and things that have given them a reason to not be with them, you still have a baby with them. So it's just like, when someone requested this specific topic to be on my show, I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it because it's like, oh, at least someone else feels me on it, because I feel like a lot of girls are having kids with these guys they barely even know. And then when shit hits the fan, when the baby comes and the guy is like either a deadbeat, bails, or isn't doing his part the way he should have, you expect him to do, it's like you can't even get mad at him because it's like, sis, you didn't even know him. You didn't know him well enough to know, okay, this is who he's gonna be as a father. This is who he's gonna be as a husband. So it's like, when you're in a relationship and you take time to know somebody, you can see their flaws, you can see good about them, the bad about them, and you could then it's when you can decide, okay, do I want to be with this person? Do I see them long term? Do I see marriage and kids and a family with this person long term? You can't see that within a couple months of knowing somebody. I'm sorry, whoever lied to you, you don't. It takes years to actually get to know someone, and a lot of married and adult people have told me this. It takes a real long time, years, to really know somebody. My significant other, we've been together for 3 years, and there's things I did not know about him that I'm still learning, and vice versa. There's things about me he's still learning, whether it's like little things like flaws, like me getting mad, or things that triggers me, and same thing with him. And it's like, you're not going to know all those things within a couple months or a year of knowing somebody. So when you decide to have a baby with them, and then when a baby comes, a lot of things get complicated, like money, work, school, household responsibilities. Everything is complicated when a baby's put in the picture. So then that's when the red flags start to come out sooner, because you're like, damn, I didn't know this nigga was really going to be a deadbeat. Like, oh my God, I thought he was a great guy. But it's like, how? How are you going to know he's a great guy if you've only known him for a couple months? So it's like, who are you to sit here and bash him now that he's not coming up with his end of the bargain, because now you have this baby and you're putting in 100 and he's only putting in like 30-40%. I mean, it's still wrong. At the end of the day, a woman doesn't lay down on her back by herself. A guy has a responsibility. If a baby comes and he's mutually having that baby with you, he has a responsibility too. But also, a man is, it's for them, it's easy to say than do. And I noticed that over the years in all my other relationships, they'll say these things and never act on it. So it's like, you really have to be with someone for a long time for that to know that they stand by their word. To know, okay, this man is serious about me. This man is serious about my relationship with him. Then be like, okay, I think I want to have a baby with him. Say, for example, you were with this person for 3-4 months. You end up pregnant. Mind you, in 3-4 months, you guys are traveling, going on dates, hanging out all the time, having crazy sex, enjoying each other. Then the connection is there. And then, mind you, when you're in the honeymoon phase, you don't know how somebody is as a father. You don't know how somebody is as a provider or a husband. You're in a honeymoon phase. That's when you guys are first getting to know each other. So when the baby comes around and you get pregnant and he starts acting like an asshole, or he leaves you for dead, or you realize in all reality he's broke, then what do? Go on Facebook and call him all types of deadbeat, fucking cuss him out on all types of social media and air his dirty laundry out? Because it's like, that's what you females do. And it's like, I'm a woman, I should be on the female side, but it's like, no, like, I'm gonna be the one to tell y'all, like, y'all are wrong. Like, you shouldn't, the woman is obviously the one that, is the only one having fucking sex by herself, making the baby. But it's like, you should also know, if I'm gonna have unprotected sex with this person, I need to be aware of the consequences and the outcome of it. And like, okay, think to yourself, like, okay, if I do get pregnant, I can see myself with this person. Not just, oh my God, if I get pregnant, I guess it is what it is. That's just with the reality. No, because at the end of the day, you may think it's your reality, but overall, it's that baby's reality that has to grow up in that fucked up household. And it's not fair. I get offended and I get defensive and triggered when it comes to this topic. I don't have kids, but for a specific reason, because I just don't think it's okay to bring kids in this world when you don't have shit to offer them. And it's not just financially. If you don't got a 2-parent household, a happy, loving household to offer that kid, don't fucking have that kid, or don't fucking have unprotected sex where you can have a kid. It's not fucking fair. Because a lot of us in this day and age, who are my age, 24 years old in my generation, I'm pretty sure all of y'all watching can relate to growing up in broken homes, growing up with divorced parents, growing up with one parent, growing up with neither parents, growing up in a system or anything. It's just fucked up. When, like, our parents decided to have us knowing that they didn't even have a fucking steady household or loving household to give us. So now that affects us and impacts us in our relationships as adults. Now we're sitting here confused on, like, what the fuck? Like, why am I so fucked up? Why can't I find someone to love me? Why the fuck can I love someone the correct way? Because our parents brought us up in fucked up ass situations. And then the cycle continues. When you have a kid in that, when you get pregnant in a fucked up situation, then they're going to get pregnant when they get older, or get someone else pregnant in a fucked up situation, and so on and so on. It's like a fucking cycle. And it's like, Jesus Christ, especially for Black and Hispanic women, let's break the fucking cycle. Let's stop being statistics. Let's, finish school. Let's get degrees. Let's get careers. Let's get married and have houses and own things before we bring these kids into this fucking world and they're gonna have to fucking pay for our fucking mistakes. Because that's really the fucking reality of it. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting a little, like, taking it a little personal, because it's just like, damn, that poor baby didn't ask to be here, and now that baby has to fucking deal with 2 split up parents that is probably gonna fucking hate each other or always argue for the rest of their lives because these 2 people just couldn't be adults and be responsible and have responsible sex and get their shit together. And it's like, one thing I respect is if a relationship is toxic and you are with someone for a small amount of time and you do get pregnant, I respect people who work towards it for the kid. But you always have to remember, if there's no love there and there's no real love there, there's no point. Because all you're doing is hurting the kid more by confusing them, thinking that just because we're together, we don't love each other, it's normal. Like, no. They're going to think that, okay, I can be in a relationship without loving somebody. I can be in a relationship without being happy with this person all the time, when that's not fucking normal. And they're going to see that, you know? So the cycle goes on. So that is it for episode 3, guys. Wrapping it up. I really liked this episode. I liked the topic. I feel like I had a lot to say. I feel like I had a lot of responses and interactions to the topics. And I like that someone requested for a specific topic. I like to deliver. I will be, keeping up every single Thursday. Life gets in the way sometimes, and I had to delay my episode from last week, but I got you. I'm gonna keep it coming with the content, y'all. Okay, keep subscribing, like, comment, share, give me your feedback, suggestions, and recommendations, advice and tips. I appreciate everybody that has been following on my journey. I love it. I just love doing this. I enjoy doing it. I like to talk. It's just something I'm good at. I've been trying to have a guest co-host, but everyone's schedules are a little different. But let's see, next week I might have a surprise for y'all and have a guest co-host, and we'll get into some more things and spill the motherfucking tea, girl. Okay, but tune in every Thursday at midnight. A new episode airs. Episode 4 will be on next week, and I can't wait to have you guys watch. Okay, have a good rest of your fucking night. This is Chat with Chaz, with your daily dose of hot piping motherfucking tea. All right?